Hi everyone, welcome to our video on how to survive in Sweden. It's filled with a lot of information, tips, and tricks on how to survive in Sweden. So if you don't know, once you watch this video, you'll know. My name is Sabir. I'm the secretary for ESM Växjö.
My name's Tim. I'm the president of ESM Växjö.
And I'm Dina. I am the booking and traveling responsible.
I'm Sophia. I'm the vice president.
So before we start, a message from our sponsor.
Hello, we are from ESM Växjö and we are a part of the ESM organization. ESM stands for Erasmus Student Network.
And our goal is to integrate international students with local students and to make your life easier.
So the first things to do when you're in Sweden. First of all, you need to get familiar with the university. So you have the new student site of the university, which I assume most of you are familiar with. If you're watching this video, you probably already know your way around the website. After that, you have the Linné Karin website, which is the student union here. We'd recommend you to become a member. They have a lot of services and a lot of ways that they help students. And then, of course, we have the ESN website as well. Becoming a member can help you find other students here and have a social life. The other part of moving to Sweden, or just life in Sweden in general, is accommodation. It's very, very important that you get your accommodation sorted. So the first thing to do with that is, if you're an international student from outside the EU, or if you're a fee-paying student, the university can help you find accommodation. So the university can help you find accommodation through their website there. The other thing to do is to register on the Boplats website, which can help you get Q points. So whenever you do apply for housing here, it's based on a point system. Every day that you queue, you get a point, and when you'll apply for a house, usually the person with the most Q points gets the accommodation.
So yeah, some Swedish words that you probably find confusing if you don't speak Swedish is gift or gift. It means poison, and marry or married. So bro means bridge. It doesn't mean like bro. And B means village. You write it like B-I, like by, but it's you read it as B.
So, you come to Sweden, you want to make a friend. But here in Sweden we have something called stranger danger. At a young age, kids get taught about stranger danger. And people from Sweden don't talk with strangers. You're a stranger, we won't talk to you. So what do you have to do as a stranger to get the Swede to befriend you? You have to set a trap. Setting the trap should involve something that the Swede can drink. You can start a party or make a party with something to drink for the Swede. What do you do then? You make sure he drinks more, or she. This is in order to make them more friendly, to make a Swedish friend. People might talk to you and tell you that, oh, just invite them for a fika. But that's a hoax. Swedish people don't go for fikas with strangers, so forget about it. How do you make them come to something that is not a party then? Well, you make it an obligation. You put it in a calendar and you put in brackets, mandatory. They will arrive, but make sure you're in time, otherwise they will leave.
So getting around campus. When you're here, you obviously need to get around. So how do you do that? Before anything else, you have apps. Everything in Sweden has an app. We'll talk more about that a bit later, but for transport, you need the Landstrafiken app, and also some kind of a maps app, so Google Maps, Apple Maps, whatever you prefer. Most buses here have free Wi-Fi, and when you first come to the university, you will get a map of the university as well, which can help you find your way around. We have some useful links as well for you, other than that, you probably only need to know about buses 3 and 1, which take you all around the campus and around the city as well.
So some social norms that you probably will face when you come here to visit us is personal space. Swedish people love their personal space. If you are not their friends, so if you are, for example, staying in the queue for bus, you shouldn't go like this close. It's too close for to stranger to yeah, come closer. And queuing is very important here. You can't just arrive and then go into, for example, a bus. You should stay in line. That's very appreciated by Swedish. And another word that I find funny is lagom. It's just enough. It's you can find it in another language. It's just for Swedish people. It's just enough that not too much, not too less. Enough is good. And then the other thing is income. It's kind of rude and awkward if you ask for someone's income. You will put yourself in a stranger position if you ask that. Yeah.
So once you're here and you've made some friends and you know the Swedish norms and you know how to get around, you need to go shopping. So first of all, the essentials. For groceries, you have Ica, Lidl, Willys, and Let's Shop. They're all around campus, short walk or bike ride away. For bedding and things like that, you have Yeast, which is in the city. Close to Yeast, you also have Rusta, which is a nice shop for getting household items, things like that. And then for secondhand items, which is very popular in Sweden, you have shops like Erikshjälpen, which is for all kinds of used items. And for secondhand bikes, you can bike everywhere here in Växjö. Almost everyone rides a bike, so I recommend you to get a bike. And yeah, for bikes, you have Tempus, which is also in campus and in the city. You can find some links on where to find them and their opening hours right up there as well. So once you're ready to go shopping, you need to think about the numbers. So first of all, you need a phone number. If you don't have one, the most popular one with students is usually a company called Comviq, but you have many others as well, which are quite popular and easy to get. The best place to buy a SIM card is probably Pressbyrån. There's one on campus, and there's also ones all over the city. It's a bit like the Swedish 7-Eleven, so they're everywhere. Opening hours are quite generous as well. After a phone number, you might want to think about having a bank account. So for having a bank account, you might need to have a personal number. In case you don't have a personal number or don't want to get a bank account here, you can probably use your existing bank account from your home country. Like you can use the debit cards here without any issues. And yeah, in terms of the regulations and whether you can get one, we'd recommend checking with the banks directly. A few banks that are popular with students are Forex Bank and Nordea, and both of them have branches in the city that you can visit. Lastly, you have a personal number, so that is your Swedish identification number. If you're an international student and not staying in Sweden for more than a year, you might not be able to get a personal number. You might only get a temporary one. But if you are able to get one, we would recommend you to try to get one. You get it from the tax office, and yeah, it lets you access a lot of services and things like that in Sweden. So it's good to have.
So apps are a big thing here in Sweden. You need an app for everything. We have the Student Kortet, which is the student union's card. You need that. You can get discounts with that card, and you also need this card to prove that you are a student here to get into clubs, for example. Swish is a big thing here. If you have a Swedish bank account, you can use Swish to send money and receive money and pay for things. Another big app is Olympen. If you go to the gym here, which is called Olympen, you need the app to book classes and times for when you go to the gym. Also, the bus app, you can buy tickets there and check the bus times. Yodel is another app that is very used here. It's usually Swedish, but you can use it to train your Swedish. It's basically the gossip app from campus. Also, Card Skipper is a very big thing if you are in an association or in a nation. That's where you show proof of membership. And also store apps like H&M and others, you can get discounts with it. So here on campus, we have a lot of nations and associations. Most of the nations do basically the same thing. They do events and plan parties and gatherings. It's more as a fun thing for students to do. You can check out any of these nations and you can join them. The price is around 100 crowns for each, and you need that membership to get into Sivas, which is one of the student pubs here. If you don't have that, you will not be able to enter. Associations are more towards your faculty. So whatever you study, you will definitely find an association for it. And also ESN, we're a middle ground of those two. We plan parties, events, and gatherings, social gatherings, and all of that.
In Sweden, we talk Swedish. That's the language we speak here. Do you want to learn Swedish? Perhaps. Well, SFI might be for you then. SFI stands for Swedish for Immigrants. There are also some courses at the university. But here in Sweden, we speak English sometimes. Swedish people can speak English. They don't like to. Here in Sweden, when we talk Swedish, we use a few words for what we want to say. We also use the quick words. This is to confuse you, the person that doesn't understand Swedish. We might also use grunts to express ourselves. And when we start doing that, we're not laughing, we're trying to communicate with each other.
Working in Sweden. If you are studying here, you are able to work here in Sweden. But there are some things that you need to do. For example, learn Swedish. It's way easier to work here if you know the language and if you're able to communicate a little bit. Also, there are a lot of websites for students who want to work here in Sweden or to do internships or to do a part-time job. You can check out the links. Also, Erasmus Intern has a lot of internships for you to check it out. Some are paid, some are not, but it's always a good thing to check out. So there are a lot of groups for buying and selling things here because people don't stay here for so long. So they always sell their stuff or buy stuff that have been used for a little bit. There are lots of Facebook groups only for students in faculty to sell and buy. And also Marketplace is also very used to buy things for cheap. Nightlife. Here on campus we have 3 clubs, Slottsdalarna, Sivans, and Stenlade. Slottsdalarna, we have a deal with them where we work with them and our students can get in for free for the first hour. Sivans is also another club where you need the nation's membership to get in. And also we have Stenlade, which is a pub that's open for everybody. This is also where you have your tests. Also in the city, there are many clubs that you want to check out. We recommend Café Deluxe, O'Leary's, and the Boulevard if you like more of the rock music.
So you made it all the way to Sweden, huh? Well, we have some places you must see. In Sweden, we have a thing called Lapland. There's a lot of snow there. Exciting, right? There's also a lot of wildlife, but it's not only about going there in the winter. Going there in the summer, you might experience something that is very rare in other parts of the world, the midnight sun, where the sun sets on the skies and stays there. This is also where the castle is located if you're interested in that stuff. If you're more inclined to stay and have some fun, Systembolaget is for you. I'm not going to say what they sell there, but I think you might figure it out. This is essential for parties. You know what I mean?
Swedish people eat when they go for a fika. Well, there's a lot of stuff they eat, but like coffee and buns and stuff are the most popular. And two of my favorite that I picked in the picture you see above us. It's the first one is lussekatter or lussebullar. The funny story behind lussekatter, it it stands for Lucia, which is a big holiday that celebrates here in Sweden. Like every year, it's one of the most celebrated holidays. And back in the days, people used to bake it at Lucia-dagen, which is Lucia Day. And another definition of Lusse is that it stands for Lucifer. And so back in the days, people in Sweden believed in devil like Lucifer and demons. So they started baking a bun, and they gave the name lussebullar or lussekatter. So yeah, you should give it a try when you're here. And another one is kanelbulle, which is also really famous here. People love it.
So here in Sweden, we have a harsh climate. You gotta survive the outdoors. When you party for a long time, you're homeless, you gotta survive. Here we have animals, wildlife. What's the most dangerous animal here in Sweden? Well, it's the wasp. Amazing, right? Is it cold here? Yes, in the winter it is cold. What do you need to do? Wear clothes, wear layers, thermal layers. This is how you stay warm in Sweden. But what do you miss if you only wear clothes? It's slippery outside. You gotta take some hairspray, spray it under your shoe, get some stickiness under your shoe. This is the way you don't slip and hit yourself. Because if you hit yourself, you might have to go to the hospital, and which sucks. So good luck, don't slip.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. Links are in the description of the video. Just drop us a message on Facebook, and thank you for watching.
See you here in
Thank you.
Sweden.
Thanks, see ya.